Well, Christian has a genetic condition which is called Fragile X. So to look at him, he's a healthy and I think very handsome boy, and so nobody, just look at him, nobody will think, oh, there's something wrong with that child. But the moment he opens his mouth, it is quite clear. His learning is very delayed, and his intellectual ability is not academically great. I think he's a clever boy, anyhow, because he makes connections that are quite special, I think. He always remembers things, and he makes he remembers roads, he makes some logical connections, and it's funny the way the brain works, because he couldn't add 2 + 2 even if he's 13 now. He's also hyperactive, which is again a consequence of Fragile X, and now he's coming down and plays a lot of football as a consequence. When he was a child, when he was younger, it could have been a bit challenging, especially before, when he was just a baby and he couldn't walk. It was a nightmare, because he wanted to be on the move all the time and he couldn't be, so I had to carry him everywhere. And if things are not if things don't follow a plan that he knows, and something unexpected happens, ooh, that's trouble. And we have temper tantrum, shouting, or anything.
He likes to try and be normal. He likes to get involved. He tries his best to just be himself, but still try to not embarrass himself.
The diagnosis came and had two results. One positive, which is, oh, now I know what it is, and one negative, which is, oh gosh, there's no hope. Because you're always in denial. You always say, oh, he doesn't speak because he's lazy. Oh, he behaves like that because he's got a bad temper. And then you're just like, okay, now I know, and nothing we can do. Yes, early diagnosis is fundamental. It's so important. One, to know what services are needed for the child. Speech therapy, immediately for Christian. When did he get it? When he was 4. It was a bit late, wasn't it? 4. If you know, for understanding the child. Now that I know that Christian's got Fragile X, and that I know what happens with children with Fragile X, I know how to handle it.
It's not always we get along, but he likes when we're doing stuff that we both like, and I just have to cope with stuff he does like and I don't like. I don't worry about stuff that's going to happen in the future. I just worry about stuff that's happening now.
Christian always loved Jonathan. From the first day they saw him. I remember he came to the hospital, and Jonathan was in this little push thing, and he took Jonathan, pushed him away from me, and he said, okay, bye-bye, Mummy, as to say, now I've got my brother, I'm okay. And so there was always, maybe luckily, there was never jealousy, so there's always been a lot of love between the two. I think Christian is great in the way he is, in his personality. I think he's very blessed with a lovely personality. Ah, gosh, I wish he didn't have a disability. I know some people say, oh, I would never change him. I would change him if they gave me a pill and this takes it away, I'll give it to him. The positive probably is that makes you really, one, empathize with people more, and and really understand suffering, and two, makes you paradoxically happier, because you really understand what you need to worry about in life, rather than worrying about things that possibly are not really that important. And you really appreciate, for instance, I really appreciate health, and the fact that despite his problems, Christian is actually a very healthy boy. I hope that he'll be able to live as much an independent life as possible, because he's an independent person. He wants to do things on his own, and he's got a very strong sense of himself, so he wants to show what he has done, to do his thing. So I would love him to, when he grows, I love him to continue with schooling, and maybe develop. Obviously intellectually he's not very academic, but so I don't expect him to have a degree in maths, but I expect him maybe to learn a trade or a job or something. Gardening, is fond of going out in the garden, and or I don't know, something that he could do that will give him a sense of self and independence and satisfaction for what he does. Yes, I think I can do it.